Welcome everyone to Straight from the Paws. Today I have some exciting news. I have two new, well relatively new, approximately 4 months employees here. And way to my left is Shianne, and this is Chantelle. Now when we hired them, we decided to hire them both at the same time and weren't sure what we were going to do with them. I was looking for one person to do the clerk, which you ended up being the clerk, and that was great. But we also, in the back of our head, I've been trying for many years, Bev and I, actually, we hadn't put it into our policies and procedures, but we wanted to have, what's your special title did we give you?
Admin assistant.
Administrative assistant. Okay, perfect. So, I wasn't sure what we came up with, but so we come up with. I love to come up with titles. I give all my board members different titles. You're in charge of volunteers, coordinator. You're in charge of foster coordination. We just come up with these terms. So anyway, so now we have both ladies, and like, what are we going to do? Because at this point, we were at the point where we're like, okay, if we hire two of them, maybe one of them will quit within a couple of weeks. So we figured, well, we'll try to figure out what's going on, right? So it ended up that it worked out, I think it's worked out perfectly. It's turned out really, really well. We're going to talk a little bit about with excuse me, Shianne first. And Shianne, you're the clerk.
Yes.
Now, did you have any background in animal care?
In animal care, I did not have any background.
Okay, but you have worked as an administrative?
Yes.
Okay, so you worked the front desk and all that?
Yep.
Okay, so what's a little bit different in working where you were working and working in an animal shelter?
I think the way that people respond to me on the phone, they're very passionate. So I would say that, due to their animals being in the shelter sometimes when they want to come back to collect them, they are a little more aggressive and standoffish. But I think once they find out that we're here to help them, that it usually subsides the situation.
You've only been here 4 months. You'll get some of the craziness. Like we everybody knows that we have our own little we have a word that if we need to get some help, we get some help.
Yep.
And the good thing, since you guys have ladies have been on, we do have walkie-talkies now, which are high functioning walkie-talkies, so that before it used to be just yelling down the corridor, help, now we don't have to do that anymore. We're getting high class around here. So we've had some good, now what made you decide to come to an animal shelter?
Personally, I love animals. My whole entire life I've been raised with all kinds of animals, from rabbits to large dogs, and I've had reptiles, anything in between, fish. So I'm just really passionate about animals in general, and anything that I can do to help animals is something that I'd love to do every day.
Well, that's good. And so far, everything's worked out really well. Really, really well. She's the young lady that answers the door and answers the telephones. Now remember, she's one person. So if she's on the phone, she can't say to somebody, hey, hold on a minute, and I got to go answer the door. Because I know, because the doorbell rings on my phone. So it's constantly ringing. And I know that sometimes you probably just sat down and they're coming back. That's one of the reasons why I have appointments now, which is, you ladies have figured that works a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But there are people that can come off the street. If we have availability, we let them come in. Mm-hmm. So if you're ringing the doorbell, please give them a minute or two before she gets up and answers it. And usually the staff is, I would like to say, trained to come up front and when they hear the doorbell. But sometimes one of them's in the middle doing a bath, another one's outside on the break. It makes it very difficult. Now, if I'm correct, we now have a 12:30 to 1:30 window where we're closed every day?
Correct.
And what do you do for that?
Well, it's designated for our lunch period, but usually I'll do catch-ups on calls and stuff like that for the applications to get them processed quicker. So.
Yeah, remember when I said you have to take a break, ladies?
Yeah.
You both have to take a break. But you do turn the phones off, correct?
We do, yes.
You do. So if you don't get us at 12:30 to 1:30, you will get, most likely, you'll get a voicemail, and Shianne will get back to you. Now remember, she only works until 4 o'clock, correct? So it makes it a little bit difficult. I will say that so far, with both these ladies, they have been very flexible and greatly appreciate the time that you put in and flexibility to come in on a different day. So for this audience that doesn't know this, prior to this, we had one woman that was clerk before you, but prior to that, we had board of directors that came in every other day. There's 5 or 6 of them, and to answer the phone and do that. So the continuity of paperwork and putting it into the computer was very difficult. especially since some of them are a little older, not me, but them, like senior
Not you.
citizen, not me, they're senior citizen level, so they're not too computer savvy. And so that made it very difficult, where you two are computer savvy and know what you're doing. So that has been a big, big, big help. That has really been a big help. So now, if we need a backup, we could have those ladies that were here. But for the most part, you two are being flexible. We only have on Friday and Saturday, I still have 2 of my board members doing that. But due to illnesses and so on and so forth, vacations, you two have covered. Okay. And again, as all of my audience knows, I'm in an animal shelter, highly allergic. And of course, my voice is going. It's been going fine before technical difficulties with Lucy. So now I'm losing my voice again. Okay, so that's how we work. So tell me a little bit about what you do.
I do a little bit of everything. When I can, I help her with the applications, I answer the phone, but for the most part, I do whatever Ari tells me to do.
What Ari tells you to do.
I don't question it, I just do it.
You just do it. So you've got a variety of things.
Yeah.
My understanding is you have a little bit of background in animal
A little
working.
bit.
Okay.
I worked at a vet for a few months, and I learned a lot in that time. So I know a little bit about, medical issues, vaccines, things like that. But for most of my life, I've just been the crazy cat lady. So everything I've learned, I've kind of learned on my own.
Okay. I understand that. No, I get that, and I really do get that. Now, I also want to talk a little bit about, because one of the things that you are doing an exemplary job of, I've actually had my board of directors have said, oh my God, I've been on Facebook and all that. This is our Facebook queen here. She does all the writing on that, and then Beverly takes them and she puts them out on Twitter.
Bev
and I think,
plagiarizes me.
She plagiarizes you all the time, exactly. And I think who does Instagram?
I do.
You do the
Yeah.
Instagram as well. So Bev just has to do Twitter now. So sometimes when she's sitting there and she's like, I'm 20 now, I'm like, oh good. Well, I got to cut it down. I'm like, not my problem. I said, but I have looked at it, and you're doing a fantastic job. And just today we had one of our clinics, a rabies clinic.
Yep.
And in the past, it's been Peter and a few people here, And then all of a sudden today, I saw like a streamline of people coming in and out. So you had to cover, because Diane, one of our board members, couldn't make it today. So you did it for the first time.
Yeah.
And you said it was really busy.
Yeah.
And what did I say to you?
It's my own fault.
That's right. It was your own fault, because you did a great job.
Because I advertised
Yes,
it.
you advertised it. The cute little, what was it? I don't know. I'm not good. Shih Tzu, Yorkie, whatever it was. It was adorable. I mean, So, what do you say? We're very, very fortunate. So the other thing that I like too for both of you, and I wanted to say this, we take opportunities, like sometimes people come, and we had an opportunity where I missed our last fundraising event, and we were down on people because it was one, I didn't have COVID, but other people had COVID, and Ariana said, I'll get you tickets, ladies, if you'd like to come, maybe you could sit and help us. And what I hear is basically you sat behind where we were selling our products and just sat there the whole time. Did you play bingo?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah,
we did.
You didn't win though, did you?
I had a good time though.
You had a good time?
Yeah.
Okay. So they helped out with our fundraiser, and that was well appreciated, and we did make good money on that, on the products and stuff that you sold. So again, one of the things that I've learned over the last couple of months with you two, and I know that you probably don't know this, but I don't know if I already told you, because I didn't come in on your interviews at all. The last year or so, I've allowed Ariana to do most of the interviews on her own, and she just shows me the paperwork, and we discuss it, and I say yay, nay, and that's how it works out. So, and I don't have a picture of you. I don't know what you look like. I have no concepts of what's going on, and I'm just like, okay, did you feel comfortable? Yeah, I felt comfortable, okay. But in case you didn't know this, I have the pictures on my phone all the time. So I'm watching the cameras at all times. So,
oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, good. So, it is funny because we had, I'll just say, a former employer many years ago who was funny, and she's, well, I can go in that room because she doesn't have cameras in there. So it was kind of funny. So we have cameras pretty much in a lot of places. We have 18 cameras at all on the property and in here, and it works out really well for me. I don't spend as much time as I used to on the cameras because, well, I think the employees that I have now are great.
They don't
You
need
know,
to be babysat.
they don't need to be watched. Exactly. They do not need to be watched, and that makes it a lot easier for me. You know, and when and at night, and you might wonder, why do I have the Ring on my phone? Well, you work it during the day, but there are people that come at night and ring the doorbell. Like I'm talking 5 o'clock. Why they're banging on the door because it's open. No, it's not open. We're closed. Why isn't somebody there with the animals? And I have to go through this whole rigmarole and talk to people on the voice and explain to them our concept of what we do. So it makes it difficult, but I do have, you know, I do pay attention to that. And then again, if I see somebody like not where they're not supposed to be going or anything like that, I have the ability to, you know, get in touch with the police right away. And that has happened a few times. You know, unfortunately, we have had that happen a few times. Nothing major, you know. Then again, sometimes the doorbell rings because a neighborhood cat runs by and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or the kids are riding, in the summertime, they're riding their bicycles. And I get a little bit more annoyed at that time, but, you know, what can I say? So you're the one that does our social media, and so you'll be putting up about, we're going to be having a couple of more fundraisers coming up. Ariana has actually driven me crazy on this, but just so that people will know, we are going to have, I don't know if you know, April 1st, I think, I don't know, it's a Saturday.
That was also my fault.
That was your fault too? Oh, all right. I was beginning, I really was liking you, but I'm beginning to think
sorry.
Cheyenne is kind of like getting to be my favorite here.
Cheyenne's my favorite too.
Yeah, well, okay, you got 2 points. Yeah, they're going to have an Easter, so you know about that, an Easter egg hunt. Yeah. So I guess we're going to have to come down real early to decorate in the morning. Yeah, and we're going to have little Easter eggs, and there was 20 kids in each category. I think it was.
Yeah, 20 to 25.
Yeah, older kids and younger kids. We did find, I don't know if you know this, but we did, my committee, we did find an Easter bunny costume.
Did you?
Yeah, we got an Easter
So
bunny
excited.
costume. Yeah, we got an Easter bunny costume. We're going to have, I think you're going to do face painting. So you're a face painter?
Yeah, I like to do art. So.
You do? Okay, well, there we go. Now we got a face painter here, and we're going to have, they're going to want to do a little bake sale.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. My committee expands. They take it and they expand.
Ari's going out all out with this.
Yeah, she's going all out with this. And I don't know about pictures with the rabbit. I was going to say the Easter bunny.
The Easter rabbit.
The Easter bunny, because we got to wait to see if one of our photographer friends will be able to do it. So that's going to happen, I think, Saturday, April 1st. But I'm sure that you will be getting that out into Joe Public very quickly, as soon as it's all been taken care of. So that's a new thing that's going on. I had hoped a couple of years ago, prior to COVID, everybody says that prior to COVID, I had hoped that, you know, we were doing well, and, you know, we were just above the red line, so we were doing okay financially, and I was like, okay, we can stop having so many little fundraisers. Well, now that I allowed Ari to hire you, she has more time to work on a little bit of fundraising, because on her former job, that's part of what she did. But I told her when I first hired her, you're not to do fundraising. I have a fundraising committee, and you're not to do fundraising.
How'd that go?
That didn't go too well. Hasn't gone too well. And I keep saying to her, Ari, I'm the boss. And she goes, I know, but and we go on from there. So, but no, Ari and I have a really good relationship. And so we have this Easter egg hunt going to happen here on the premise. And then we also have the end of April, which I'm excited about. I'm really excited about. We are going to have Mike Wyoza, a former city councilor in Fall River. He's a mentalist. And it's kind of like magic. Well, it's not really magic, but he's done a couple of shows for us, and it's been really great. It's going to be at the Liberal Club, and tickets are going to go on Eventbrite as of March 10th, and we're going to have him, and then we're going to have Frank Santos Jr., the hypnotist.
Ooh.
So get young people to come. We will have our wares like this stuff that we sold the last time. You cannot even bring water in or anything like that. You got to get all your beverages from the Liberal Club, which I don't know if I know one of you doesn't drink, but the drinks are very reasonable priced. I thought you told me you didn't. No, it was her. I don't, but she does. Because I saw that she was drinking.
I was going to say, we were both drinking
I
at
know,
once.
I heard. I didn't want to mention that on camera, but yeah, I was told, well, I don't drink, but I knew that wasn't true. So anyway, so we decided, okay, no big deal. So we're going to have that. They can't, the Liberal Club restaurant, which I go to every week. It's like, you're probably too young to listen. There used to be a show called Cheers in Boston, and everybody knows you when you walk in. You probably don't know. Anyway, okay, that just aged me. But every Thursday we go in and we get our own special table in the back. Susan, who's the board of director, and her husband and I and Bev, and we have a really good time. So we know the woman that owns the restaurant part now, because it's really a club and a restaurant, and it's two separate entities. So unfortunately for us, I said, gee, you think you could cater for me, Trish? And she's like, Gail, I can't. It's really busy. So you can bring your own snacks in, you can bring, a pizza if you want. I'm asking people, just clean up after yourself. It's going to be $30. You're going to get two great people doing the show, and I already have a poster all set up. Frank Santos made the poster himself. I gave him the information, and he put it together, which is great. So you'll be getting that. I got it. I'll put out a plug for Modern Printing. That's where I do all my printing. I'm going to be getting that soon, and we'll have that up, and so we'll be selling it. And the reason why we do Eventbrite now, which we never did before, because we're becoming more modernized now, because for you two ladies answering the phone, people would be calling up fundraising, and then you'd give my office number, which is my home number, and I'd be getting calls at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. I want tickets for, a fundraiser. And I'm like, oh my God. And you try to be nice, and it's like, okay, could you call the shelter? Well, I was given this number. You were given this number during the daytime.
6 hours ago.
Yeah.
I'm in my PJs, ma'am.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I've had enough. So anyway, we end up, now it's going to be through Eventbrite. The only one it's not going to be through Eventbrite, Ariana, again, the week before my fundraiser, she's got something going at Top Shelf in New Bedford. You're aware of that? Okay.
That one too.
That's another one. Okay. So we're going to have a brunch there, a 2-hour, just a real quick type thing there. She's going to sell the tickets. I think not on Eventbrite, so we're going to have to sell them through here. And so anyone that's interested in that, my social media person, I got a social media person now, we'll be posting this on our on our website and on our Facebook and so on. So that will be going on as well. So you see, it's what happens, and I guess my point was that you're doing one job, but it filters into so much in an animal shelter. You're going to see so many different things going on, and you're going to see some really wonderful things and some very scary things. And sometimes you have to put on the face of, it's okay. Like, I'll give an example that happened, while they've been here. A poor animal, beautiful animal, got hit by a skunk, and the family didn't want the animal anymore, and came in with, soap suds on him because they didn't know what to do with him. It's frustrating, you get angry, but you have to control your emotions. And when they're gone, we say choice words behind their back, because that's how we feel, because we're the animal people. And just FYO for both of you, I was not an animal person at all. Never had animals when I was a kid. Mother was highly allergic. I'm highly allergic. But I think you made a statement before, and I've learned. And I was an academic teacher, so I like teenagers. Anything younger was a little bit of a tax for me. I ran a camp for the special ed kids, and it was a little bit difficult, but it was only summer camp. But the bottom line is, we are here for the animals, and we care about the animals. And you made the statement, and one of you, I won't say who, I like people, I like animals more than I like people.
Thank you.
And I think people that work in this environment, that's how we start feeling, because the animals can't talk for themselves.
Exactly.
We have to be their advocates.
We absolutely do. I just want you to take a guess. You weren't here in 2022. Can you just, and if you did the numbers for Ari, then you can't talk. But if you haven't, do you think how many animals do you think we kind of dealt with in 2022?
In 2022?
Yeah, I'm not just saying adopted. I'm saying
I was
adopted.
gonna say, 'cause adoption I could give you like
No. I don't want adoption. I want adoption. So
honestly, probably close to 1,000, and I started in like October, which is the very end of the year.
You're right. Well, honestly, we went through the list. When Ari gave it to me, I said to her, Ari, you better run the numbers again. I think you're off. And she looked at me and she said, but it came out of shelter manager, because we're not making up the numbers. It's coming from shelter manager. Almost 1,500 animals we have service in this building. Now, this building is very small. I'm not going to mention names, but there's some neighbors that are right over the state line, and there's some others in the close vicinity to here. I challenge you to come up with 1,500, you know? And I've got the proof in our shelter manager. You know, I was blown away with the number. You know, I really, truly was blown away. I was like, they got to be kidding.
Yeah.
So you think about it, right? How many animals come in that we don't even look at the numbers in the process? And we have about 12 people working here, and about 5 or 6 are full-time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I've said this before, we've always had a lot more volunteers. We don't have as many volunteers anymore, but the staff has, you know, risen to the occasion. And I've seen you too. I've seen one of you, you know, walking an animal outside, fostering again, you know.
Foster fail.
Foster failure.
Failing at that, but
That's not uncommon here
Yeah.
either. But, you know, and you, like you okay, so you put out a plea for Amazon. The Amazon, did anybody get to meet the Amazon man or woman that came in and say, hey, they've become friendly if they send them Christmas cards? No.
At this point,
we
Yeah,
should,
yeah,
because
we
they
should.
know us. They're like, oh, we got a lot for you.
Yeah,
Coming with
right,
bags and
Right, and
so
then they come in,
appreciate
and who opens it? You know, you two are out there, when you got a minute, you're out there, open it up, and it should, that's what it's about. Now, who told you on your job you were gonna do this? Nobody,
yeah.
you know? So, what's the most satisfying thing here? Either one of you, throw it out.
Watching the animals go home,
I was gonna say,
especially
seeing their faces and reactions.
especially
when
if
people
it's
cry
one.
and-
Yes.
like,
Especially if it's an animal that's been here for a long time.
or one
Yep.
that's like the ones that seem less wanted and
Yeah.
stuff like
Yep.
that. Like when a pit bull goes home, or a,
Yep.
a puppy that was the one that everyone looked past, and then we get to make a family happy going home with that
Oh,
dog
yeah.
is the most fulfilling part of the job.
I agree, and a lot of the times too is when a family member comes back and sees their animal. You know, they got the animal. Some of them are nice. Some of them, get a little animosity towards us. But we're here for the animals. We're not here to please you. We're here to take care of your animal, and that's the thing. And I really am proud with all that we've done I think, and I've said this in the past, and I want to knock on wood here. I don't want to, do anything, but the problem is that Forever Paws, we've had different people work for us and stuff, but I mean, Lori, you met Lori Coolidge? She's been
Briefly.
Briefly, she volunteered, she became a worker, she had to, she left because she had some medical stuff going on, but she still comes back and volunteers, and she enjoys doing it. Like, we have another young lady that's working now, I won't mention names, but, she's working in another facility. She got a lot of training here, she went and worked at a medical unit, but now she comes in and she's per diem here. I mean, that's the kind of environment we have. I'm really hoping that the two of you last through my retirement, whenever that the heck is going to be, I don't know. But
The rate you were going?
yeah, I know.
Never.
I know. Let me tell you, I understand that. But I think that, I know that, and sometimes I get frustrated. Minimum wage just went up in Massachusetts, and we had to negotiate money and stuff, and that's the part that always bothers me, because I think that you people should get a lot more money than what you do, and I wish we could do that. If anybody wants to be a millionaire and donate some money, we'd greatly appreciate it, because we just raised some of our prices, and what happened? All the vets behind us came in
Also
and said
did.
they
Yeah.
raised all their prices.
So it didn't even make
No.
a difference.
It's not going to make a difference to us. And in some cases, we're losing money now on certain animals. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say, but I want Joe Public to know that that's what's important to us, that we're doing the best we can with a minimal amount of work. We appreciate everybody's donations. Monetary donations are very important, but when my social media person puts out, a plea, and you respond, I want to say a heartfelt thank you to everyone that helps us, because that's what it's all about. This is what Forever Paws is about. We've been in existence 26 years. We've been in this building for 19. And I've been doing this for 25. And I'm going to say it, I've got the best staff I've ever had. I have the best staff I've ever had. And I told Ariana when I hired her, she had to stay on for 15 years. And then I tell her, and she says to me, oh, it's only 13, 12 years. I said, no, it's about 14 left. And she looks at me, because she's been here a couple of years. And she goes, I said, I think you're going to retire when I retire. And she laughs and she goes, yeah, okay, Gail. And I said, remember, if you hit that lottery, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to put it into this building. Because her and Bev drive me crazy as to what they want to expand on the building and what they want, they want what's the latest thing, a staff parking lot, because with too many people to park in cars. I'm like, what are you guys, crazy? So
it would be nice.
Really I know, but I'm the logistic person, and I'm the logistic person. I say no, that's not going to happen. So I think I appreciate everything that everybody has done, and continues to do. I hope that you're very happy here. And I will say honestly, and I think I've told both of you this, you have a concern or anything, you can always get in touch with me. Especially if Ari's not here. I know Ari's your direct supervisor, but as I've been told before, the buck stops here on these shoulders. And so I try to keep everybody as happy and as I can, and make everybody feel comfortable. So I want to thank you both for joining our team. I really appreciate everything you've done with our team. I told you this would be painless. I hope it was as painless as it could be. And I want to thank you very much for joining us and being with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.